I couldn't decide which moron or which moron statement was more idiotic, so I decided to share all of them in a three-way tie for Jackass of the Week. Here we go. It's time for Final Thoughts. It's a damn shame the celebration of America that was the RNC has somewhat been overshadowed by the woke thought leaders of the woke left who, with every sentence and every tweet, helped drive our country further into mayhem. But here we are with a three-way tie for that dishonor. First up, Democratic den mother Nancy Pelosi, who shared this nugget of BS with us yesterday. Take a listen.
I don't think that there should be any debates. I do not think that the President of the United States has comported himself in a way that anybody should, and that has any association with truth, evidence, data, and facts. I wouldn't legitimize a conversation with him, nor a debate in terms of the presidency of the United States.
Are you freaking kidding me, Nancy? Do you think the American people are dumb? Of course you want to hide your candidate from the debate stage, the podium, the voters, and human beings in general. We get that. He's a disaster. But to so pompously declare our sitting president of the United States isn't worthy of a legitimate conversation is beyond the pale, even for you and even for your party. And secondly, Nance, do you not think the American people deserve to see debates between the two candidates vying for the highest office in the world? Just because your chosen candidate can't get a sentence out doesn't mean you get to once again hide him away in the basement and pass it off as President Trump, our sitting president, not being worthy of a debate. Who the hell does this woman think she is? It's an insult to the American voter and further goes to show that Democrats will do anything to distract from Joe Biden, including sitting back and cheering as our nation is once again burned to the ground by lawless thugs in pursuit of their twisted and perverted form of justice. And speaking of that brings me to my next jackass, the king jackass to be exact, LeBron James. Not that many of you, including me, care, but this week, in a pathetic attempt to make some kind of a political point, NBA players boycotted playoff games. But don't worry, they are expected to return to the playoffs because apparently they cured racism in just a couple nights when their fat paychecks were on the line. How brave, how bold. Look, I don't care if they dribble or they don't dribble, whatever. What I take real issue with is LeBron James and his incitement of violence, division, chaos, and destruction. That kind of garbage right there is part of the reason many cities around the nation have once again been turned into riot zones. He is actively aiding and abetting the lawless thugs who will now once again burn, loot, and destroy American cities. What does destroying the property of others do for your cause, the cause, or any cause? Nothing. But LeBron doesn't care. He doesn't have to worry about his shit being wrecked, trashed, and destroyed. Oh no, he can sit comfortably back with his basketball and his Twitter fingers and encourage the behavior that will lead to violence, destruction, and even death. And talk about privilege. It's a real luxury to be in such a good spot you can boycott your own job. Most Americans aren't so fortunate. But he's not the only one who doesn't seem to get it. Which brings me to our next equally ridiculous jackass of the week, Kamala Harris. It takes monumental courage to refuse to play a basketball game? Really? Is that so? Hey Kamala, do you care to see what monumental courage really looks like?
I say to Americans who love our country, young and old, be a radical for freedom. Be a radical for liberty. And be a radical for our republic, for which I stand, one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all.
That is North Carolina Republican congressional candidate Madison Cawthorn, who, though paralyzed from the waist down, stood for God, for freedom, for the country so many have laid down their lives to protect. Kamala, that is what monumental courage looks like. Your little whiny NBA and WNBA players wouldn't know monumental courage if someone dumped it on their kneeling, crybaby laps. Folks, you have a choice in November. You can choose to kneel with the cowards who hate this country, or you can stand with the patriots who fight for this country, its values, its people, and its greatness. Vote and vote in person, or it'll be people like those three running and ruining your country. Those are my final thoughts from Nashville. God bless and take care.